Not sure which. Okay. Hi, I'm Silka Brown. I'm here with Alex McHugh.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
We're looking forward to doing a little refresh on PTZOptics. And of course, I had to get my guy Danny here. So Alex, I'm going to let you take it away and give a little introduction of what we're going to talk about today.
Thank you, Silka. So welcome everyone to International Team's first webinar of September. We have kind of a special theme for you guys today. What's new this term, PTZOptics in focus? So we're going to show you guys some of our pre-existing solutions, how they kind of all work together. And we're also going to show you guys some of our great new solutions, as well as some exciting things that, let me show you guys. We also have a quiz that we're going to engage you guys with on this webinar. So I'm going to show you guys a code.
Do we have to share your screen? I'm not sure. Right now, I'm only seeing you. Okay.
Should be able.
All right, perfect.
So I have this QR code for you guys. It might be easier for you to just use your phone and scan the code, but if you are on a PC or a laptop, you can also go to joinmyquiz.com/pro, and that code right there, 221059. If you would like. So we're just gonna wait here for a couple participants to join in. While you guys are doing that, so we've got Jacob. Oh, and please use just your first name would be helpful as your nickname for this quiz. And with this quiz, we actually have a special prize for the winner. So the winner of this quiz is going to get our brand new Studio SE fixed frame camera. So big stakes for this quiz. So pay attention. And there's even a couple questions where we might even test your knowledge of what you guys know already about our stuff.
All right, and the winner can't be Mark. Sorry, Mark. So anyone else, hopefully you can join and try to answer some questions and win our fixed cameras as well. All right. Do you want me to kind of get started
Yeah.
with my
Let's
whiteboard over here?
we will go. Let's move on to this one.
Okay. All right, so Alex gave a little bit of an intro into what we're going to be talking about today. We're giving you a brand refresh on PTZOptics. Of course, we have a fun quiz to go with it, an awesome prize. And so just to get started, we, PTZOptics, and some of you have heard this before, but we started out as an integration company over 30 years ago. We're really proud of that because we try to bake in all of that knowledge and that understanding that we have, that we get from our integration team day in and day out into our solutions. And so there's a couple of things that makes PTZOptics stand out. I know you joining this webinar today are going to be getting an extra month of our Q1 2025 pricing. But it's really, really important to understand the value of our solutions because PTZOptics is so much more than just price. So what I was going to write on my whiteboard here was 3 things that make PTZOptics stand out from other brands. So the first thing is long-term value. And I am Professor Silka today. So long-term value. And what that means, one, of course, is our warranty. So we've got a 5-year warranty. We really protect our customers every step of the way. If there's an issue, you guys who've worked with us for the last couple of years know we are incredibly quick to be helpful. We're incredibly quick to support your clients if they need a replacement. And that's something that we pride ourselves on. We're easy to work with. The other thing that comes with long-term value is also our continuous evolution. Our Move 4K is a great example of that. We launched that in, I believe, January 2023. Now, here we are 2 years later, and our Move 4K has come such a long way. We've enhanced our auto tracking. We've added voice tracking. We're working on a new web interface that we're going to show you today. These are all things that we've done for customers that bought our cameras 2 years ago, and we just keep adding value and future-proofing that technology so that it continues to be great. There's a lot of other brands that will only do firmware updates if there's a bug fix. But you'll see that we really just try to take our cameras to the next level without even requiring a new purchase. The second thing that makes us stand out is our camera control ecosystem. And I'm going to try to write quickly here. Camera control ecosystem. So what that means is we've got hardware camera control solutions as well as reliable remote camera control solutions. So we've got our joysticks, our HC Joy G4, our PT Joy G4, our Super Joy, really great comprehensive joysticks that allow smooth and easy camera control for those who like to have a hardware solution. But then we also have our software. We've got Hive. You can control your cameras from anywhere in the world. There's not other brands that can say that they have something like that. We've also got our web interface. We've got our camera control management app. And as Alex will show you later today, we're also coming out with new camera control solutions. So that's something that we do really, really well. And we also do it all over the Power over Ethernet ecosystem. So you've got one cable for control, one cable for power. We've got the NDI license included in our solutions. We've also got HDMI, SDI, USB, and everything else that you could possibly need to make sure that it's a flexible, versatile solution. And speaking of flexible, versatile solutions, that's the other thing. We've got a versatile product lineup. So we're talking about you need a 1080p solution, we've got it. You need something that's 4K 60, we've got it. You need something that has HDMI, SDI, USB. You're not really sure if your client's going to want to upgrade to NDI in a couple of years. We've got it all in our versatile camera solutions and also our accessories. And then the fourth thing that really makes us stand out, and we're so proud of this, is our support. We've got a stellar support team that actually wins awards every year for how good they are. They go the extra mile. Oops, stepped out of frame there. They go the extra mile for their clients. They get on calls. They will video chat. They'll remote in. They will chat you. They'll email you. Anything that you need. They're quick. They're responsive. And they do the extra thing to make sure that your customers are supported and get that stellar service from PTZOptics. So these are 4 things just to keep in mind, especially when our pricing goes up. You may have to educate new users a little bit more about what makes PTZOptics so special, but there's so much value that we bake in that it should be a pretty easy sell. So keep in mind these 4 things, and I'm going to pass it back over to Alex.
Thanks, Silka. So we're going to get started here with our quiz. We're going to get started with our quiz right here. So kind of going on what Silka said and as well, what we're talking about with our brand in general. PTZ Optics has unique insight into the needs of the market due to their background as what type of company? Pizza delivery, karaoke manufacturer, systems integrator, or camera lens manufacturer? So I'm going to start this here. You guys have 20 seconds to answer the question.
This might be a hard one because I know how much you guys love karaoke, but I trust that some people will get this right.
Here we go, Jacob. Jacob got that right. So we are originated as a system integrator. That's something that we're really proud of and like to talk about at PTZ Optics because we know a lot about the business. We didn't just start out in the camera business. We've had over 30 years in the AV space, and it really helps us provide for the client and provide for you guys. So let me just open
All right,
this.
I actually have to move locations real quick. So talking about our core products, again, I'm going to be quick. I know a lot of you are already very familiar with our core solutions. We've got our Move SE, we've got our Move 4K, and now we have a brand new line of fixed camera options as well. Our Move SE, this is our 1080p solution. It's very affordable. It's very easy to use. It's very versatile. It's got everything. And we also added the NDI license to the Move SE last year. So it's a complete solution right there. If you're somebody who needs a 4K solution, we've got our Move 4K. That comes, all of our PTZ cameras come in a choice of 12, 20, and 30 times optical zoom. They all come in a choice of gray or white. And our Move 4K is really fantastic because it's 4K 60 frames per second, which means you get really great smooth video every single time, high quality broadcasting. And it also comes with all of those versatile outputs as well. So again, you have everything you need in one camera. And then there's so much more to just a physical camera. There's a firmware that our team meticulously designs to make sure that everything looks great, to make sure that the camera is easy to control. And as Alex will show in a little bit, we also have taken that to the next level with a new web interface that's coming soon. And then new this year is our fixed camera line, the Studio SE and the Studio 4K. So as you'll see that we have a new sleek camera line. This is the replacement to the Studio Pro. We've gotten rid of that panel light up at the top. We've added some improvements to it, and we've made it a more versatile solution. So now this is something that can easily integrate into solutions with our PTZ cameras, and it's also great for conferencing, for sports, and for so many other things. So you'll see here on the back of the camera, just like all of our other solutions, we've got power over Ethernet, SDI, HDMI, USB. This is one change that we've made as well from the Studio Pro as we added in that SDI. A lot of our clients wanted it back and needed it. So that's available there. And then you've also got quick touch buttons. So you'll see here that you can also control some aspects of the camera, the focus, the zoom, right from the physical device without even having to go to a web interface. We've also got our built-in tally light, built-in microphone. It has a time of flight sensor, so you can also use this for conferencing and have the subject be nice and crisp in the forefront and have the background be blurred a little bit. And of course, this also comes with that NDI license, and all of our fixed cameras are compatible with standard tripods. So very, very easy to use. That's the goal here. We've got the Studio SE, which is our 1080p version, and then the one I'm holding here today is the Studio 4K, and that is our 4K version. These also come in a choice of 12 and 20 times optical zoom. And I'm going to pass it over to Alex for the next quiz question.
All right, so I hope you guys were paying attention to that, or maybe this last slide. So PTZ Optics, PTZ cameras have an industry-leading warranty that ensures your investment is protected for many years to follow. How long is this warranty? So let me move on to the next question. See what you guys think. Five seconds. And that is right, a industry-leading 5-year warranty on all our PTZ cameras. Additionally, another thing that comes standard with our PTZ cameras is our auto tracking. So you can kind of see on the bottom here with this picture, make it as easy as possible for the user with all of these standard black remotes that come with our cameras. You can easily point at the camera and turn on auto tracking. We use advanced AI face tracking software on all our auto tracking. So if a person gets mixed in the crowd or they walk off stage, the camera's going to stay locked in on that person, and you're not going to have to worry about it, moving all over the place, and you lose kind of the whole point of that feature. So kind of see on the side here, we also have some distances for our auto tracking. So depending on the camera, depending on the zoom is, obviously it's going to change how far it works. With the 12x 200 feet, the 30x 300 feet, or I should say meters, because this is a UK broadcast. So yeah, and then as well Horizon. So I'm gonna actually give you guys a little demo on this. So let me pull up Horizon here. So this is PTZOptics Horizon. It's currently in beta, but our product team is hard at work adding a ton of new features, and it really is a great platform. As you can see here easily, I'm easily able to pan and move the camera by just pointing this arrow. We also have our standard PTZ control here, so you can see these easy to use buttons. Uh-oh, spun that a little bit quick there. Bit finicky. So we'll pan this back. Oh, there we go. That's a great shot of
Yeah.
Benny right there. Another thing we like to highlight are these presets down here. So if you can check this out, you can now easily set a preset and easily come back to it because there's already a preset image there. So you don't have to remember a specific number and go back and you realize it's wrong. You can go look at these pictures, say, all right, I want that. You can click on that and the camera's going to automatically pan to that. We also have this really kind of cool color view here. So you can see all these, this red, green, and blue here. And then as well, these image settings down below, all the different filters, exposure, color, and all of these iris, everything that you need to kind of make sure that your footage looks as great as possible. Silk is going to do a little bit of discussion on our studio view here.
Actually, super quick, if you go back to color view,
Yeah.
one other thing I just wanted to mention that I really loved is that you now have the ability to also see your color view in some different formats. So Alex, if you hit that drop down arrow right next to where it says RGB parade, there's like a little arrow pointing down.
Yeah.
If you hit that, you can actually switch it into some different color view formats. So you can do it as a vector scope. You can see it in, I think that says waveform, if I'm remembering correctly. And you also get a before settings oh my gosh, it's a tongue twister. Before settings snapshot. So in that, which I also really love, is that if you do a bunch of color correction, and you see the before versus the after, you may actually decide that you want to undo your changes if you've maybe made some bad decisions with color correction. And so you actually have the ability to revert. And we also created all of these different views, the RGB parade, the waveform, because we have clients that like to color correct the way that they are used to. And so we really just wanted to design a way for anyone to color correct in their preferred format. And so we have something for everyone there. And it really gives you the ability to have advanced color correction tools right at your fingertips. All right, so studio view. This is another new thing that our product team has designed. And actually here, if you hit create view right there,
Yep.
what the studio view does is it uses our facial recognition technology. So that's that same advanced facial recognition technology that's in our tracking solution. And it identifies all of the people that are on the scene. So when you hit that, and I think may not be working perfectly right now. Again, it's in beta, but when you hit that, it identifies all of the faces in the shot. And this is a really great tool for conferencing or for panels because now you can immediately see all of the people and it creates little presets for where they are so that now you can just immediately click on a preset and the shot will go right to that spot. In the future, we're actually also planning on integrating the studio view with our voice tracking solution. So now you can also immediately identify all of the people in the scene. You can figure out where they're sitting. And then when they speak, it'll automatically go to that active speaker. But that's coming down the pipeline a little bit. Right now, this is just a great way to create presets based on where people are in the shot. Okay, and we're going to see, we're going to try to see if we can correct the studio view quickly. While we're doing that behind the scenes, I will also mention voice tracking. You'll see that on the little sidebar there. All right, we just changed it. Let's see what happens now. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. There we go. This is what we wanted. All right, so now you're seeing how we're creating these preset locations based off of where people are in the shop. So that's what I talked about a second ago. Now you can see that it does work indeed. All right, so back to voice tracking. So this is another new thing that you can access directly from the PTZOptics Horizon. When you click voice tracking, and Alex is going to do that, here you can configure your microphones. So voice tracking, and let me take a step back here too before we jump into the demo, but we have a really great auto tracking solution. Uses facial recognition technology, immediately follows the active the person, your target. We've got presenter lock technology, and it's seamless, it's foolproof, it's great. However, when you are in a conference room setting and everybody's sitting down, subject tracking is not the best solution. And so we wanted to create something for those conferencing environments where there's a lot of people seated. And so that's why we developed this voice tracking solution. And we've integrated with 5 of the industry's leading microphone brands. And the way it works is the speaker in the room is going to send positional data to our PTZ 4K cameras, our Move 4K or our Link 4K. They're going to receive that data, and then they're going to pan to the active speaker in the room. So that's how it works. It makes conferencing so much more dynamic, so much more engaging. Anyone joining virtually will feel like they're right there in the room with everyone else. And by the way, this is also something that we added in when I talk about long-term value. I'm talking about we added this voice tracking solution. We're not charging for it. A lot of other brands do. But we wanted to enhance the value of our solutions. And so that is part of what we offer when you get one of our 4K cameras. So as Alex was showing on the PTZOptics Horizon, you can configure that right there from the web interface. You can select which microphone you want to use, whether it be Sennheiser, Yamaha, Shure, Nareva. There's one more that there you can see the, the list right there. Televic, that's the one I missed. And so you can configure your microphone, and then you can also configure your switcher. If you just have one camera in your room, you actually don't need a video switch or a switcher at all. You will just need one of the supported microphones and the camera, and the active speaker in the room, the microphone will go directly to the person who's speaking. If you have multiple cameras and you want to employ video switching for a more seamless, smooth video experience, that's when you would want to add in one of those video switchers. So you have the ability to really make this as complex as you want or as simple as you want. So actually, we can move on to the next slide.
So I hope you guys were paying attention to those microphones right there.
I feel like it's a little unfair because I didn't like read the here. Go back. Let's read the full name.
It is a bit of a hard question, so pay attention to these microphones right here on the right. Memorize them. Have a good look at them.
Shure MXA920, Sennheiser Team Connect to Ceiling, Yamaha RMCG, Nareva HDL 410, and Televic Confero. All right, let's hop into the quiz.
So I think you guys can guess what the question is. Which of these following microphones are supported with the PTZOptics 4K camera voice tracking solution? Got 5 seconds. There we go. It looks like Mark got that one right.
Nice job, Mark.
So yeah, the Shure MXA920, Yamaha RMCG, Sennheiser Team Connect 2, and the Nareva HDL 410. So great job, everyone. And this is our Simply Track 3. So this is kind of one of our newer products here. It's got that same 5-year warranty that we offer on our other standard PTZ cameras, as well. Kind of hidden behind that 5-year warranty sign, you guys can see this dual lens right here. And so what this is going to ultimately allow us to do is this stage awareness, which I can talk about. So one of the great benefits with this, because we cater the Simple Track 3 towards education, do you see these 2 boxes right here? The teacher is currently presenting on the screen, talking to the students, doing her normal thing on the TV, the whiteboard, the smartboard, whatever they're instructing on. They can then move to the whiteboard, and maybe it's a math class and they do some algebra on the whiteboard right there. The symbol track recognizes that they're in a new zone. It's now going to pan over to there, and then on that recording, on that live stream, you'll get the teacher writing and doing their work on the wall. So this is really great for education, lecture capture, um, kind of sort of in that situation just as well. It's 1080p, 60 frames per second. It has auto tracking up to 55 feet. I talked about that advanced zone management, and these all come standard in 20 times zoom capabilities.
All right, I actually already talked about our fixed camera line, so I think we can actually skip ahead. I must have done that out of order. Sorry about that. Oh, actually, news flash, breaking news. I just got mic in my ear. We have actually a new feature on the Studio SE. So I can actually, the Studio 4K, sorry. So this is the Studio 4K that I have right here. We're actually introducing new firmware that is adding super zoom. So we've talked about this a little bit and it was still in development. It is now here. What the super zoom does is it doubles your optical zoom. So if you have a 12x 4K, you can convert that into a 24x 1080p solution. If you've got the 20x 4K version, that converts into a 40 times 1080p. So gives you even more capability if you're using it in a 1080p environment. The other thing that we're introducing new is EPTZ. So for those of you who need a replacement to our Huddle Cam EPTZ cameras, the Studio 4K will now also have EPTZ functionality. Let's watch a quick video about that. Just give us 1 second to get that loaded. Okay, we want to make this special because this is breaking news. I just got this in my ear, so. Okay. In the meantime, try to remember all the specs that I just said about the fixed camera line because there will be a quiz question coming very soon. I will quickly remind you that this is a choice of 12x, 20x optical zoom. It comes in the Studio SE 1080p, Studio 4K, 4K, but now with our super zoom, it also doubles that zoom if you're using it in a 1080p environment. All right, let's watch that video.
Hey everyone, we're going to take a look at the Studio 4K's latest new feature called Super Zoom, which is adding EPTZ to your Studio 4K camera. Now, this is exclusive to the Studio 4K, but if you have the Studio 4K, you want to get the latest firmware. So you want to go to PTZOptics.com/firmware, where you can add our latest firmware files. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the Studio 4X for 20X and 12X. You want to make sure that you're downloading the proper firmware for the exact zoom size that you have. So after you do that, you're going to head over to your camera's main web interface. So this is what it'll appear when you first open up your camera. You want to go to Camera Config and System Settings. This is where you can easily scroll down to the bottom and check to see if you're on the latest firmware. We are currently on the latest firmware, but if you aren't, it'll let you know that, and you can go and add that specific firmware file directly here and apply, and it'll ask you to update it. It'll apply that new firmware, and then you'll reboot the camera, and you'll be ready to go. Alrighty, so let's look at that new feature coming only to the Studio 4K camera. Now, with all that extra 4K space we have on our sensor, this is giving us a lot of opportunity to use EPTZ. So if you aren't familiar, of course, we have great PTZ cameras that have optical zoom, but now we are offering EPTZ for our fixed frame cameras or the Studio series of cameras. So here, I want to show you how you get to enable this. So this is what happens when you open up the dashboard. You'll see your speed, click over to image and then control. This is where you can go to the zoom mode and select super zoom. This is a beta feature, but this is going to allow you to use EPTZ now with your Studio 4K camera. So you'll select super zoom, you'll apply, it'll ask you to reboot your camera, and we are currently already in super zoom. So I want to show you how this works. So this is our standard frame that we have currently set up. If I set a preset here, I can show you exactly how we're using the PTZ movements, all with electronic EPTZ. So if you click on another preset here, I have all these different presets set up around my space here. And you can see now, this is a fixed frame camera. If you take a look, this is just our Studio 4K camera. And this is a fixed frame camera that is simply showing side by side our picture frame here. And now with ePTZ, you can take a fixed frame camera to the next level. This is now going to allow you to easily turn this into a miniature PTZ camera. Now this is using the strength of your 20x zoom as well as that 4K sensor, so you can really move in and zoom in closer than you ever could before, and even use your standard PTZ settings. So just like that, you can move your camera around, even though this is a fixed frame camera. So I'll give you a quick little view. You can control this ePTZ now completely from your web interface. We can zoom back out. All of that movement is done directly with our sensor and the mixture of digital and optical zoom. And I'll show you just how quickly you can move around the space now with a fixed frame camera, just like that. Alrighty, so that's a quick little view on how you can enable the super zoom feature only on the Studio 4K camera. Now you can offer PTZ controls on our fixed frame 4K cameras. You can learn more about the Studio 4K camera at ptzoptics.com/studio series.
Thank you, Mike, for playing that video. I think that was really helpful to see it in action. We're really excited about the new ePTZ functionality that's coming with Studio 4K. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Alex to ask a quiz question.
Thank you. So just before I do give you guys this question, I did just want to highlight this real quick. If anyone joined in late and you would like to join the quiz, it's joinmyquiz.com and our code is 221059. You guys can see the code right there. So just if you join late and you would like to participate, please by all means join. So this is our next question, question 4. It's true or false. The Studio 4K comes in 2 optical zoom varieties, those being 8x and 12x. Is this true or false? And that is, of course, false, guys. It comes in 12 and 20x zoom varieties.
A little bit of a tricky question, Alex.
Yeah, I know. That was a hard one. So actually,
This
moving
class
on.
is hard to pass.
Moving on here. So before I actually show off any more slides, let me put this in the slideshow view. So this is a question we want to ask before we show you guys the slides. So let's test a bit of knowledge on PTZOptics.
A little bit of another trick question here.
PTZOptics we also manufacture mounts. Which of the following brands are compatible with our wall mounts? So we've got PTZOptics and HuddleCam, PTZOptics, HuddleCam, Lumens, and Marshall, Aver, and all of the above. So
there's one answer here that's obviously false, because why would we only make our mounts compatible with Aver? I hope no one answers that question. All right, 10 more seconds to lock in your answer.
there we go. So we've got about half of you guys answered. Yeah, of course, it's all of the above. You guys can easily see actually from this. Let me pull that up. So this is directly on our website, ptzoptics.com/wall mounts. You guys can see on this camera compatibility sheet, look at all these different brand names that we have that will work with our cameras. So you guys can see.
And then if
here.
Alex, if you also hit one of the brands that are listed, let's just go with the top one there. You'll also see all of the camera models that are compatible. So this is a really great way. I know a lot of our partners sell more than just PTZOptics, and a lot of other brands in the market sometimes run into supply chain issues. So if you ever have a camera that you know that one of your clients is already using, or there's no way you've possibly tried every chance you can to switch them to PTZOptics because we know how much you love us and how great we are. But if it boils down to it and you need one of our mounts, they are also compatible with a lot of different brands. and you can upsell these to other solutions as well.
Amazing. Let's keep moving along here. And Silk is going to talk about our joysticks.
Oh, just actually real quick, I did want to mention something about mounts.
Yeah.
So you can see where you can find all of the compatibility. We specifically showed wall mounts. We have the same thing for our ceiling mounts. I did want to mention that our solutions are currently not outdoor safe. We may have something coming in the pipeline for 2026. Don't quote me on that because the product team will come for me, but we are working on something. But in the meantime, if you have a client that needs an outdoor solution, Dotworks is one of our partners. They create outdoor enclosures. We've actually worked together with them to make enclosures that are perfectly designed for our PTZ cameras. So it's not a no if you have a client that needs an outdoor safe camera. It's just yes. Here's the solution. It's Dotworks partnered with PTZOptics. Oh, we got a question. Alex, would you like to answer it?
Yeah, definitely. Let me. When is the Studio stock landing in the UK? So North Amber actually already has Studio SE stock in the UK.
It's already there.
It's already there. They already got it. So it's out. It's there for purchase. North Amber also has demo units available. So if you'd like to try it out, you can also try that out as well. So it's already there. So yeah, great news to hear. These guys are on top of the game.
Yeah, and speaking of Studio SE, we actually have a fun video that we might want to pop in here about our Studio SE being used in Topgolf. So if there's any Topgolf fans, you may want to tune into this video. All right, and I'm throwing our producer Mike in for a curve because now he has to pull up this video. So let's give him 30 seconds to get that pulled up. But we do have, all right, here it goes.
Hello everyone, welcome to a little Zoom comparison. We're here in King of Prussia at Topgolf, where we're gonna be zooming in on the beautiful golf range that we have behind us. So right here we have a 12X and a 20X Studio SE fixed frame camera. These are very powerful cameras with very incredible optical zoom lenses. So let's go ahead and try out these lens sizes and see exactly how far we can zoom in on both the 12X and the 20X cameras. All right, now you can see the 12X on the left and the 20X on the right. So you can see just how much more we can zoom in on that 20X. What, we're about, I don't know, over 100 yards from that red flag, and that 20X is zooming in almost to a medium close-up.
That was a fun trade show. One of my favorites, I think.
Trade show, Topgolf.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to our sister company, our integrations company, Haverford, for putting that together for us. That was, yeah, that was my favorite trade show ever, I think.
And I'm jealous. All right, so moving along, now we're going to be talking about our joysticks. Again, I want to keep this brief. I know a lot of you are also very familiar with our joysticks, but we have some really great camera control options in hardware format, and that's another thing that makes us really great. So our Super Joy, that's our best-selling joystick, and it's best-selling because it has so much baked into it. It's got IP and serial. These are simultaneous. It's our only NDI joystick, so compatible with NDI. If you're going to IBC and you stop by at the NDI booth, our Super Joy will be there. It's also got HDMI out, and this is something that makes this a really popular joystick because the HDMI out allows you to have a video preview. You can add in a confidence monitor to your setup. Not a lot of joysticks in the market have that. So these two things, NDI and HDMI out, really make the SuperJoy unique. And at the price point that it is, it's incredibly popular. It's incredibly feature rich. It also has custom buttons. So there's 4 custom buttons on the physical joystick itself. And then the joystick controller also has a button at the top. So you get 5. Here you're seeing an overhead shot. And so really great because you have the ability to layer presets into those custom buttons. If you want your camera to move in a sequence, for example, maybe starting at the top of the room and then slowly panning around to different areas, you can layer presets. You can also go into the web interface of the SuperJoy and create custom automation. For example, you can automatically send your camera to preview in vMix, or you can automatically send your camera to preview in VizRT or TriCaster. You can trigger commands that turn tracking on and off using the SuperJoy. So there's really an endless amount of things that you can do. And you can actually access all kinds of custom codes and commands on our customer, forgetting the word for it. It's our community page. So that's where you can just type in community page custom codes SuperJoy, and it'll take you right to that site, and you can access all of them there. So moving on to the PT Joy G4, that's IP or serial, and then you've got our HC Joy, which is serial only. So we really have a variety of options for a variety of situations and budgets. And so using these joysticks, you'll find the perfect fit for your client. And before I forget, SuperJoy is also compatible with about 90% of the PTZ brands in the market, including Sony, BirdDog, Panasonic. The one brand I'm aware of that is not perfectly compatible with the SuperJoy is Canon because they have their own proprietary commands. But the majority of the other brands, especially if it's an NDI PTZ camera, will work perfectly with the SuperJoy.
So moving on to our 6th question. Remember those 3 controllers that we just talked about. What best-selling PTZOptics joystick features 5 custom buttons and an HDMI output? We might have just shown it on a camera.
All right, so you guys have 16 seconds to lock in your answers. If anyone says PTZOptics Studio SE, I will be offended and angry. So you fail and you'll be booted from our webinar. I'm just kidding. All right.
There we go. Is of course the PTZOptics SuperJoy.
Great job, everyone. All right, so here you can see some of the markets that we're in. We're kind of closing in towards the end of our webinar, so I'll go through these quickly. But we're in a bunch of different verticals, and we also, while we're a really versatile brand, there are specific features that speak more to certain verticals than others. And so healthcare. We actually just hired a healthcare specialist, by the way. His name is Kevin. He's been really great. He's working extremely closely with healthcare companies as well as our product development team. We're actually going to be releasing a specific solution for medical next year. But in the meantime, clients that are using our current lineup of cameras are loving the compatibility, the ease of use, the reliability. We're getting used in telehealth carts. We're getting used in medical schools for virtual learning. We have some really great case studies on our website. I especially loved one that we recently did with a dental school, because one challenge with dental is that it's like such a tight space. It's hard for a group of students to surround the teacher and really see what they're doing. So they used a high-powered PTZ camera with high-powered optical zoom to zoom in closely into the patient's mouth so that the students could see exactly what the dentist was doing. So a really cool case study. We have a bunch of those on our website, so check them out. Government is another one where we're incredibly popular. In the courts, we've done the entire New York court system. In Australia, we've done the courts in Victoria. Again, it's a really great solution that we offer because we're more affordable, reliable. The government client really wants to make sure that their money is well invested. And so the fact that we have that 5-year warranty is also a great feature. I would say the most popular solution we have in courts would be our fixed camera, the Studio SE and the Studio 4K. A lot of the US courts have standardized on our fixed cameras. And then we've also got our Move SE, which is a great solution for courts that need a PTZ camera. 1080p is really the most popular in those environments. And again, because our cameras are affordable, reliable, and backed up by our industry-leading warranty, makes them a great pick. Sports is another area where we're incredibly popular. Really, we're seeing our 4K. So while government is more 1080p leaning, sports clients are more 4K leaning, especially 4K 60, because with fast-paced movements, you're going to want 60 frames per second. A lot of other camera brands only offer 4K 30, so there's a limitation there. Our auto tracking comes standard, which is great for single player sports or even sports like tennis. But then we also have the ability to offer a variety of optical zooms. 12x is great to take in a wide angle shot of the field, and then the 30x or 20x are really nice so you can zoom in closely on specific players or specific actions happening. So I made the massive mistake of thinking that on my last webinar that people from South Africa might not know what rugby is. Turns out they're the world champions. I know for a fact that rugby is also popular in the UK. So we have some cool videos online of rugby case studies. So there's a couple things that you can also reference if you have a client in a specific industry in sports, because we've done basketball, we've done football, we've done American soccer or American football, as you might call it. And we also have action bundles, which were specifically created for the sports client. That includes a joystick, a fixed camera, as well as a PTZ camera. So go to our website, check out our producer bundles. Specifically, our action bundle was created for sports environments. And then corporate. This is another client of ours that really appreciates the compatibility with popular conferencing platforms. Voice tracking becomes a huge conversation piece in corporate environments. And then our Simple Track 3 also has the capability for group framing, just as our Move 4K does. So it's another really nice feature that we offer.
So 3 more verticals I'm going to talk about, starting on House of Worship. The 2 things that I really love to highlight about House of Worship are going to be our ease of use and our affordability. So I understand a lot of times with these churches, it's one person who's in charge of their whole AV setup. It might even be a pastor. They don't have a lot of knowledge. The budget isn't high, and they're looking for something that's going to provide them excellent quality, but is also going to be extremely easy for them to figure out and to use so they can reach their, broader audience. So we really do try to make it as easy as possible for the user. And then as well, we always stress our affordability, but we're giving you guys an excellent solution that is going to be future-proofed. So when you buy this camera, you're going to get software updates into the future, kind of forever, making your solution a great choice. As well as lecture capture. We talked about the Simple Track 3. We really like to highlight that. Auto tracking, group framing, great for showing when the professor is teaching, great for showing when the professor is writing on the board. You can set privacy settings, so if you don't want the students in the background, if you're at a university, a high school, you just want to show the teacher, that's also possible. And then as well, we have multi-software compatibility as well. Live events, I like to highlight here our low light performance, which we kind of talked about in Horizon. So you can change the light because the stage isn't always as bright as you would like it to be. And then we also have this compatible kind of standard tripod, this quarter 20 down here, which is going to allow you to attach your PTZ, your fixed frame camera, to a variety of different tripods. So if you just have something small like a studio on your desk, that works fine. If you have a big tripod and you're filming a whole entire stage, it's still going to fit. So moving on to question 7 here. What PTZ camera would you recommend for a sports client who needs 4K 60, NDI, and advanced tracking?
So it might be a little bit harder. So we'll see who the true winner is soon, I think.
That's right, the Move 4K.
Great job, everyone.
Great job, everyone. Let's move on to here.
Yeah.
So Hive Studio, this is our remote tracking, remote control PTZ solution. It's decently new, but we really like to show it off and explain it to you guys. So with the Hive Studio, one of the main things that we highlight are the sharing capabilities. So just like I kind of did with the Zoom, I shared a link with you guys. What you can do in Hive Studio is you can go to the share feature, click down, put someone's email in, and they automatically have access to that studio. They're not just an admin. They can be a singular producer, or they could be even just a viewer. You can even set time presets on the control system. So if you bring someone onto your Hive Studio, you would like to control the cameras for 2 hours, and then you would like them off, you can do that as well. So this works through cloud as well. You can also do local, so you can still use it as a normal camera control system. We offer a variety of plans depending on the amount of cloud usage you would like, the amount of cameras you would like to use, the amount of people you would like to be controlling the cameras. So it all comes down to the situation of what you're looking for, what you would like to control, um, and how many people you would like to bring onto that system. As well, this Hive link down here. So a great bonus feature of our cameras is that they do have this Hive link feature. We have about 3 or 4 of them right now that are Hive linked. So with this, you can connect a camera to Hive, ship that camera to wherever wherever you need to ship it to, anywhere in the world. They can then log into that camera, connect it to the network, and it is automatically linked to Hive, and you can use it remotely from the cloud. Although this is a great feature of our cameras, this Hive linked feature, PTZOptics Hive is really quite universal. We have over 400 different camera brands that can work with PTZOptics Hive. So even if you do have a pre-existing setup, it does not matter. You can still use Hive Studio and combine those cameras with our cameras or just those cameras by itself. And then as well, effortless setup, cinematic control capabilities. So all the same features that we still have on our normal camera platform, as well as the joystick. You can pan and tilt slower or faster, kind of control your capabilities still as well as you could with a normal system. So that's kind of Hive Studio. So yeah. And then moving on to question 8, we have to give you guys a question about Hive. Another true or false? Hive Studio is only accessible through PTZOptics cameras. Is that true or is that false?
I like the little images. Did you put those in, Alex?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
nice job.
Thank you.
I was like, how does it know?
Yeah, I downloaded them all. It was
Is
yeah,
it
I like this
Alex or is it
quizzes.
AI? I'm just kidding.
No.
It was Alex.
This was human made, this quiz. There you guys go. False. Just like I was talking about earlier. Our cameras are not subject to PTZOptics Hive. Or PTZOptics Hive is not subject to our cameras. You can use a variety of PTZ or different cameras with the system.
Yeah, so Hive Studio, just to put it another way, it's brand agnostic. It works with pretty much every PTZ camera in the market. If we don't have a unique driver created for that camera model, it'll auto default to a basic camera driver, which still gives you camera control and connectivity remotely. All right, discount program. So we only have a couple minutes remaining. Just kind of wanted to wrap things up and remind you of our fantastic discount programs. We've got volume based deal registration, which is effective over $10,000 at MAP. Typically, that equates to about 5 4K cameras, maybe a little bit more than that if you're talking about the Move SE or one of our fixed cameras. Once a project has hit $10,000, you get a 3.5% discount. You would work with North Amber, and they would work with us to create a custom quote for you. And then we also offer 5% on deals valued at $100,000 or more. So those big deals, we can get you some big savings. So flex bundles are another thing that we offer. So we do have our producer bundles. I talked about that a little bit earlier with our action bundle that we have for sports. But you may have a client that wants to create their own unique configuration. So if they want that, use our flex bundle program. We will allow you to apply a 5% discount to any configuration. Here's what it needs to have: 3 to 6 cameras, and it needs to have a joystick. That can be PTZ cameras, that can be fixed cameras, it can be a mix in between, and it can be any of our joysticks. So as long as they are doing that, they get the 5% discount. We're also okay with doing multiple bundles. So if you have somebody who needs 12 cameras, and as long as they're doing 2 joysticks, we can also kind of play around with it a little bit to get you that discount. And then last but not least, I think for joining, it looks like we have one more question, actually.
2 more questions.
Two more
Just
questions.
2 more
Okay.
questions. So another quick one: true or false? kind of regarding a flex bundle. 2 20x Move 4Ks, 3 12x Studio SEs, and 1 Super Joy. Does this qualify as a flex bundle? True or false?
Did you guys know that we would have you doing math today?
It is class. This is
Class.
it is class. Five seconds. And that is true. 3 to 6 cameras, 1 joystick. It qualifies as a flex bundle.
Did we make these questions too hard?
Maybe a little bit. So final question. This is really exciting. Soka and I are going to be traveling to this really fun location next week, and we would love to see you guys there. Reach out to us for a meeting. But where are we going?
Where are we going? Are we going to Honolulu?
Maybe New York.
We're
See
going
you
to
guys.
play
Last
Top
question.
Golf and where were you? Malvern?
Yeah. Oh, King of Prussia. Here we go, guys. Final question. 5 seconds left.
Who is going to win the Studio SE? It all boils down to this question. Probably not, but
Oh, and there we go.
did everyone get it right?
So split across the board.
Oh.
We're going to Amsterdam. We're going to
Yes.
IBC 2025 next week in Amsterdam. Let's give you guys a shot. In first, we have Jacob.
Nice job, Jacob.
Congratulations.
Great job.
You're the winner of a brand new Studio SE.
And I don't have one here, but it's going to look a little bit like this, just not 4K. All right, so come meet with us at IBC if you'll be there. Alex and I are really excited. We're packing our suitcases this weekend. We're flying out on Tuesday. Book a meeting with us if you'll be attending the show. And I think just to close it out, we wanted to thank you guys for attending this webinar. For attending, Mark will work with you, but you do get another month, so until end of September, of our old pricing. So congratulations. Thank you for joining. Clearly, you needed to learn something based off of these quiz responses. So hopefully this helped. And if you have any questions or need anything else, please contact us because we are here to be a resource for you. Any final words, Alex?
Thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And reach out to us at either of our emails. It's just our first and our last name with a dot in the middle at PTZOptics.com. So thank you guys for joining. Really excited to maybe see some of you guys at IBC as well. And yeah, reach out to me with any questions. Bye, everyone.